Well, in New Jersey this week, Dolores is starting to get a little peeved with Paulie for still being married. Meanwhile, her ex Frank is focused on marrying his boo Brittany. Melissa, Rachel, and Danielle all take their little dudes out for some mother-son bonding at the family fun park, which is where Danielle told the girls that she was throwing a bougie brunch to kick off Fashion Week. Where Melissa said that she had a lunch with Jen Aiden planned to go over all the hate vibes she's been feeling, and where Danielle broke down talking about the rift with her dad. Over at Bill Aiden's office, Teresa joins Jen for a facial, and the two of them start talking about the tension between Margaret and Jackie. And then Jennifer says, maybe we should just call Jackie. And they do. Teresa picks up the phone and says, "Hi, it's Teresa. I'm with Jennifer. We just got facials over Bill's place." And then Jen pipes up and says, "How are you? How are you feeling?" And Jackie says, "Oh, you mean from last night? Oh, that's so sweet." Last night being the softball game. "Oh, that's really sweet. But as much as I would love to vent, it would be bad for me to talk about Margaret with you guys." And then she starts venting about Margaret, saying she was just basically defending Danielle like it was right for her to not invite me. I just get the sense that I'm a low priority for her. And when I get that sense, I move away. And Jen Aiden goes, right. Jackie says, "I wasn't a strong person in the past. I wanted very much to hold on to friendships. And I thought the way to do that was by making other people happy, but I'm just not in that space anymore." And then Teresa goes, "Jackie, I love that you're standing on your own 2 feet." And then they cut to Jackie in confessional and she says, I'm not an idiot. I know what Jen and Teresa are trying to do. And I'm not going to be the person who gives them all the fuel for their silly fights with Margaret. And then she says, "Are you sitting down? But it does feel good to have people concerned about how I feel and wanting to really be friends." They hang up the phone and Teresa instantly starts following Jackie on Instagram. She even likes some pictures, but only the ones that Margaret weren't in. Then Teresa takes some tequila over to Danielle so she can take a look at her Bougie Kids line. And that's where she tells her about the Bougie Brunch, gives her a rundown of the guest list. And Teresa couldn't be happier that there was no mention of Margaret. And Melissa meets up with Jen Aiden in an effort to finally straighten out their shit. And they weren't talking for long before Melissa told Jen that she had a hard-on for her husband. And she can't figure out why. To which Jen replied, "I don't have a hard-on for your husband. It's a limp dick." Then Jen finally started to open up a little. Melissa received it, and we'll see how long that lasts. Then Melissa and Jen Fessler meet up over at Marge's very colorful casa, and Jen tells Margaret that she hasn't seemed like herself. And Margaret doesn't disagree. Margaret even said that she's been feeling whacked out since she lost her ex-husband because he was a big part of her balance. Jen thinks that Marge's state of mind might be the reason why things went down with Jackie the way they did. And Marge said, "Oh, no, absolutely not." And then it's Bougie Brunch time. All the ladies were looking lovely, and when Teresa got there, an actual miracle happened. Teresa actually complimented Melissa. Did you hear it? When Teresa walked in, she said, "Everyone looks beautiful." It may have been low-key, but it was still a compliment. Then Danielle brings up Jen Aiden's puppy party and says, "I heard someone there was talking trash about me." And then she looked right at Teresa and Jen and said, "I'd expect the 2 of you to stick up for me in my absence." Teresa instantly got that panic face and said, "I don't know what you's got going on with her." Then Danielle asked Jen why she'd been mocking her at the party. And Jen said, "I wasn't mocking you. I was imitating the way you came at me in the locker room. You said you didn't tell me that you invited her to the party. That seems to be a reoccurring theme with you, not telling me things." And Danielle says, "Yeah, it goes back to the issue with Melissa." And Danielle looks at the two of them and says, "Listen, I just want you to be honest with me. Did you two set me up?" And Jen says, No, I know how it might look." And Teresa's in the background saying, "I know you're not asking me that." Danielle goes, "I want to believe you guys. I just wish you would have told me that Melissa already knew." And Teresa turns to the camera and says, "It's clear as day that Danielle has 2 birdies on her shoulder. One Marge, one my sister-in-law. If anything, we were set up. Marge put that out there about Melissa so people could start talking. She's the root of all evil." The rude. Not the root, the rude. Then Jen Aiden asked Jackie about the drama between her and Marge at the softball game, and Teresa yells from the other side of the table, "She doesn't care about you, Jackie." Melissa says, "Don't listen to her, Jackie. You know that's not true." Then Jackie pipes up and says, "I just want it to be known that I'm not on anyone's side anymore. I'll do whatever I want and be friends with whoever I want to be friends with." Then Danielle asked Rachel if her and Teresa have talked yet. Rachel said no, and then shit went sideways. Teresa once again tried to parse words while Rachel stayed rooted in her intentions. She questioned Teresa on why they went to John's ex, and then reminded the world that the exes who have the most poignant and pertinent information to share are actually Louis. And Teresa says, "Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Rachel again asked Teresa about her intentions, and then Teresa asked her if John was a parking attendant. Rachel says, yeah, he's a parking attendant and he makes $5 an hour. And Teresa goes, well, then maybe a drug dealer's better. Rachel says, my husband's built a life for him and his family. What have you done? You went to prison as a grown-ass woman. Teresa calls Rachel young and stupid, and then Rachel called Teresa old and stupid. You has been. Dolores goes, this isn't going anywhere good. And then Rachel comes hard for Teresa and says, how have you brought yourself up? By bringing other people down? You're a bully, Teresa. You picked on Jackie's marriage. Then Jackie says, I don't even care. And Melissa says, don't act like that didn't hurt you. I won't let you act like it didn't hurt you. And then Danielle turns to Teresa and says, I love you with every inch of my heart, but this is so beyond comical to me right now. Till yous was blue in the face, you were repping that girl so hard, and now you're all. And Jackie loses it and says, you guys can try to put all your shit on me, but it's not gonna work. And Teresa stands up and says she's leaving. And the minute she's gone, Dolores reminds Rachel of Teresa's wrath and warns her to sleep with one eye open. What did you think about the way Rachel came for Teresa? Were you here for it or did you hate it? Comment below and let me know.